Alright, let me just make sure we got the recording going here, and we do. Let's do it. Alright, so we're jumping into WCW Monday Nitro. This is the go-home show prior to Fall Brawl. In a pre-show match, we had the tag team of Vampire Warrior, formerly known as Gangrel in the World Wrestling Federation, teaming up with Vampiro, defeating the Kings of Old School in 10 minutes. Got the win there. Just trying out Mr. Gangrel, seeing if there's anything there. Seeing if there's anything that would be worth an opportunity for him. So 48 rating there, good pre-show match. And our second pre-show match is a just showcase match to see where we're at. Abyss beats CM Punk in 9:47. He 51 rating out of Abyss. Abyss will be coming to the main roster very shortly. Punk is still a little bit away, but Abyss is coming. And let's get to the main show. Monday Nitro, the go-home show right before Fall Brawl. Alright, so the show opens with Scott Steiner coming down to the ring and says he's not scared of Sting. If Sting really wants a shot at this WCW championship, he doesn't have to play the whole theatrics of hiding in the shadows and attacking me from behind. If he just wants the belt, come challenge me. Don't attack me from behind. Don't be that guy. 71 rating there. Sting's music hits. Sting wants an answer for Fall Brawl. Doesn't want to play this game anymore either. He wants his WCW Championship match against Steiner, which Steiner obliges, and the match has been made official. So let's go to the pre-booking. Fall Brawl. Oh, we already made it. I'm ahead of myself here. That's cool. Match was already made. So we have the WCW Championship will be on the line as Sting returns for WCW in the ring. He returned last week against Chavo for the first time on pay-per-view, facing off against Scott Steiner for the WCW Championship. Good stuff there. Steiner does try to attack Sting as Sting tries to leave the ring. Sting fights back. Steiner squirms away as Sting stands tall. Good opening segment, both guys. Really hyping the main event up just like I wanted to. Everything's good here. I wish the ratings were a little bit higher, but I'll take what I can get with the starting point here. We go into our first matchup of the evening. And at about that, this has been kind of just seeing Kidman wanted to face off against Helms in non-title. And in a decent match, Shane Helms defeats Billy Kidman in 9:53 with a roll-up. So more or less both guys are just kind of like, all right, you got me. Like, good move. There's no animosity here. It's just two guys wanting to prove that they're the best. Helms a 54, Kidman a 61, 51 rating overall. Post-match, they shake hands as they both kind of smile at the way Helms won the match. Now remember, Helms does have to face Guido in a ladder match at Fall Brawl for the Cruiserweight Championship, so big stuff there. Post-match, though, Little Guido, Psychosis, and Super Crazy attack Shane Helms' knee as Kidman's walking up the ramp and Helms is celebrating in the ring. Kidman runs down to the ring to make the save as the Militia and Little Guido leave the ring, but Shane Helms does have an injured knee now. So we'll see kind of how that potentially could come into play here. Now remember, like I just said, they're in a ladder match on Sunday, so Little Guido and the Militia kind of playing chess while Helms and Kidman are playing checkers here. 55 rating there, so we'll see what happens with Shane Helms' knee. Backstage, or in the ring, Ric Flair and Lance Storm come down, and they challenge Booker T, Shane Helms, and Bam Bam Bigelow to a 3 versus 3 pretty much grudge match. I was going to do a War Games match, but unfortunately, the pay-per-view provider, just whatever it doesn't allow it to happen. I've tried multiple times now. 59 rating here. Storm and Flair lay down the challenge. No answer from Booker and all of them yet, so we'll wait for that. In a decent matchup, Jeff Jarrett returns to WCW ring, defeating Tommy Dreamer 8 minutes with the stroke. 63 out of Jarrett, 54 out of Dreamer, 59 rating overall. Unfortunately, Dreamer has fallen down the card a little bit since coming into the company, but we're trying to find some things to do with him, and Jarrett gets a much-needed win going into Fall Brawl. Post-match, RVD comes out on the stage and accepts Jeff Jarrett's challenge for Fall Brawl. So we have another big singles match at Fall Brawl. Let's go over here. As Rob Van Dam arguably takes on his biggest challenge here in WCW, facing off against Jeff Jarrett. Perfect. All right, 69 rating there. So Jarrett and RVD for Fall Brawl. Chris Kanyon walks into Bischoff's office and is like, look, I'm the WCW United States Champion. And I'm cool with not having a match at Fall Brawl, but I can't imagine that looking too good for you, Sir Eric. And Eric goes, nah, Canyon, I don't know. I thought the Battle Royal was going to lead to your next challenger, and clearly Palumbo and O'Hara had their own situation going. So tonight, we're going to do a fatal four-way. The winner will face you at Fall Brawl for the WCW United States Championship. Canyon kind of scoffs at it, but then smiles and leaves. 66 rating there. Canyon's kind of playing a tweener here, where he's slimy, but he's open to defending his title. He wants to prove he's the best. In a decent matchup, Buff Bagwell defeats AJ Styles in 10:22 with a Buff blockbuster. AJ is 60, Buff a 55. This is just a singles match between one member of Pinpoint, one member of Totally Buff, as their feud finally comes to an end at Fall Brawl. The rematch that Totally Buff is well deserved will face off against Pinpoint, as now the opposites have been kind of how things are going. Pinpoint was obviously chasing the tag champs, and now Totally Buff is chasing Pinpoint. So 60 rating out of these guys. AJ's rating is just getting better and better. Love to see it. We get a graphic for the Fatal 4-Way for the WCW United States Championship #1 contender. Features Mike Awesome, Rey Mysterio Jr., Rhino, and Chavo Guerrero Jr. A lot of different faces there, and a lot of guys. I'm just trying to really boost up my mid-card as best I can. It's hard, to be honest, with this roster. It's really hard. Without it being repetitive, so we'll see how this match goes. 47 rating. Pretty sure this is the 4-way right here. Yep. So in a decent matchup, Rey Mysterio defeats Chavo Guerrero Jr., Mike Awesome, and Rhino in 15:22, and Rey Mysterio pins Chavo Guerrero with a springboard Hurricane Rana. Rey Mysterio carried the match in performance. Rhino sustained a fractured wrist. That's unfortunate. Chavo a 61, Awesome a 59, Rey Mysterio an 81, and Rhino a 50. Obviously, Rhino was hurt. 62 rating. Rey Mysterio looked great. So this is our United States Championship match for Fall Brawl, as it's Rey Mysterio finally getting a big match here, facing off against Chris Kanyon for the WCW United States Championship. Oops, got the H. Shit, there we go. U.S. title, rebook. Solid. All right, and it stinks if Rhino got hurt, but it's probably for the best at this point. He's not had much momentum. All right, and Mysterio and Kanyon have a kind of a weird little face-off there. Mysterio celebrating in the ring as Canyon's at the announce table holding up his WCW United States Championship. 61 rating there. Very excited to see this match at the pay-per-view. I want to see what the rating is going to be. I'm still working through what the result's going to be, but the rating's going to be good, I think. Backstage, Booker T rallies the troops and says that, we accept Flair's supposed challenge for this 3 vs 3 grudge match, and we don't really care who Flair thinks he has for a third guy. We've beaten Flair and Storm down so many times at this point, it doesn't matter who the third guy is. And tonight, Shane and Bam Bam are going to defeat Flair and Storm and show that I'm not even needed for this pay-per-view. 65 rating here. Chuck Palumbo comes down to the ring and explains what happened last week. He says, for years, Sean O'Hara and I have been best friends. And we've had our ups and downs in the tag division, but you know what? He showed to me that I was never someone that he cared about. It was all about him. So last week, I decided to finally stand up for myself and stopped him from achieving a goal that he thought he so rightfully deserved. He won that battle royal and didn't even care about me at all. And now, Sean, you're on the sidelines and I'm still here. And that's a 45 rating out of Palumbo. So this is starting to become a little bit of a very deep and personal rivalry. So we'll see what happens with that. And Chuck Palumbo does get a singles win. A decent reaction in Subpar Wrestling by defeating Hugh Morris in 10 minutes with a super kick. 50 rating for Palumbo, 46 for Morris. So Palumbo does pick up his first singles win now that he's on his own. It's weird to think that that's how he decided to go solo. Post-match, Sean O'Hara shows up on the Titantron saying that, Palumbo, I'll be honest, didn't think that would come from you. Didn't think you'd be that guy. But, gotta give you props, you took me out of action. Doctor won't let me come back until further notice. But I can promise you this, Palumbo. When I come back, you're the first guy I'm coming straight after. You just tried to end my career with a concussion. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, but you will get yours. And Palumbo just leaves the ring, not scared at all of O'Hare. It's main event time. And about to have good heat and decent wrestling, Ric Flair and Lance Storm defeat Shane Douglas and Bam Bam Bigelow, and Ric Flair pins Shane Douglas. Storm at 65, Flair at 60, Bam Bam 48, Douglas at 57. Storm and Douglas were off their game, 62 rating. Post-match, the beatdown is on. Booker T comes down. They're beating down Flair and Storm as they start just taking shots one by one, 58 rating. However, the music hits of Goldberg. Goldberg storms down to the ring, and he is making a straight line for Booker, Douglas, and Bam Bam. Change gimmick. 69 rating there. Goldberg spears Shane Douglas, spears Bam Bam Bigelow. Booker T bails like the coward that he is. And then Goldberg picks up Bam Bam Bigelow and hits a jackhammer on one of the biggest men in WCW. 71 rating there. Ric Flair gets a mic from Goldberg and says, Booker T, how do you like my third man now? You thought you were so smart about this whole situation. Bill, tell him what's going on. Bill grabs the mic and says, Booker T, Shane Douglas, Bam Bam Bigelow, you're next. 71 rating out of Bill Goldberg there. And let's see what the final rating for the show is. Well, hold on. We got to pre-book this big match for Fall Brawl now. So pre-book. It's a 6-man tag. 3 versus 3. And it's going to be on one side, Booker T, Shane Douglas, and Bam Bam Bigelow versus Lance Storm, Ric Flair, and Bill Goldberg. There it is, right there. Let's see what we got for a show rating. Alright, 65, not great. Popularity did increase in 26 regions. Canada, Britain, and Japanese regions are having some issues. I'll figure that out eventually. I've been trying to keep editing that to get that going. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. A go-home show is really hard to get things kind of rolling. But we're at Fall Brawl. We're coming our way. Big matches on the horizon for Fall Brawl. And let's just kind of see what happens, see where things go. I'm looking very forward to it, and hopefully you are as well. So if you do like the video, please drop a like. Please give us a comment. We always love to see what people are thinking of the shows. And subscribe if you are enjoying this and follow along with the shows. But until next time, you'll see Fall Brawl coming your way later this week.